Let's start today's video with a short story. A story which is very well known, I am sure, to almost everyone. The story of a thirsty crow. A crow who was smart, who was thirsty but who was smart and was able to get water from a vessel which was having a very less water by adding stones. This was the story. Well, this was the old version. The new version. The new version is crow thought, why to waste time in collecting stones? Let's do it quickly. Why to add stones and make water dirty? Take a straw and drink water. So that's a modern version. That's how you are already smart, you need to be more smart. That's the motto of this. So let's start with today's thought. I am Sukhmani from Sukhmani Immigration Services, Brampton, Canada. I am a regulated and licensed Canadian immigration consultant. Today, I am sharing a very important, a very valuable, a detailed video about a topic which I am sure everybody would like to hear. But before that, I request, if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing. We talk a lot about Canadian immigration news, update, tips and tricks on this channel. If you like the video, share it with your family and friends. And also, please press the bell icon. That will help you to get the video immediately when we upload. So without further delay, let's go on to the very important topic. Please watch it till the end because I am sharing very important information till the last slide. So right here is the topic all about LMIA. Some people call it LMIA, some people call it LMIA. I am sharing with you the entire information. There is a lot of information on the internet, but I found most of the information as broken information, half information. So it is very difficult to understand. I am offering the same information in much easier and detailed form. So let's look at it. What is LMIA? That's the first question. So LMIA basically is an acronym. LMIA means Labor Market Impact Assessment. What will be the impact on the Canadian labor market? That assessment has to be done. That is the meaning of LMIA. Who gets this done? Canadian employer gets this done. Canadian employer, if he needs to hire foreign workers, then he needs to get the LMIA. Who does this assessment? So Canadian businessman or Canadian business owner goes to ESTC and applies for LMIA. Now, what is ESTC? ESTC is also another government agency. ESTC means Employment and Social Development Canada, which is the agency which assesses your LMIA application. It assesses and finds out what is the impact on the Canadian labor market because of the LMIA. It will either give you positive, negative or neutral. So these are the three types of responses which ESTC comes back with. If it is a positive response, right? If LMIA comes with a positive LMIA response, then what does it confirm? It confirms three things. There is a need for the foreign worker. Foreign worker is required. That's one thing. The second thing, it confirms that Canadian or permanent resident, Canadian citizen or permanent resident is not available to do this job. The third thing it is confirming is that foreign worker coming to Canada and doing this job will not hurt any Canadian worker. Their interest will not be compromised. So these three things a positive LMIA tells. Workers that require LMIA fall under a program which is called as TFWP, Temporary Foreign Worker Program. And then what happens when you get a positive LMIA? When a worker gets a positive LMIA, the employer gives the positive LMIA to the worker so they can go to IRCC and get the work permit. That work permit is closed work permit, meaning that you have to work with that employer. So this is in nutshell, the basic meaning of LMIA. Now that you know the basic meaning of LMIA, let's look at this entire thing in the process form. I designed this process for easy understanding. So process, what it says, Canadian employer, they apply to ESDC. They apply for LMIA to ESDC and they tell that I have been advertising for 4 to 5 weeks, but I haven't got any response. I have not got the desired candidate. So with that information, they apply LMIA. ESDC evaluates that application, comes back, and if it is a positive LMIA, then the positive LMIA the employer gives to the candidate. And candidate with that positive LMIA, they also need a job letter, job offer letter, employment contract. Now job offer letter is a one-page kind of thing, employment contract is more detailed. So they need employment contract, job offer letter, and copy of LMIA as well as LMIA number. So LMIA number is mentioned in the LMIA itself. So these 4 things they need, and then they apply to IRCC. IRCC issues them what is called as work permit. Now that you know, this is the entire process of the work permit. This is how you get LMIA based work permit. Now let us look at the requirements which a business needs to meet and the cost, the government fee which business needs to do for applying for the LMIA. So the basic requirements are the business needs to be legitimate and operational. The business needs to provide either goods or services to the public, and they should be capable of paying the salary. They are in a genuine need of for an employer, for a worker, and then the business has not laid off in last 12 months any employees. So these are the basic requirements. A Canadian employer, to get LMIA need to pay government fee of $1,000 per position. So if they have 2 positions, say for example a cook and a restaurant manager. So in one restaurant, if they have 2 positions, they have to pay $1,000 each for one position. So that is a government fee, right? Then they apply for LMIA. In addition to the government fee, they also have to pay for the advertising cost. And the advertising cost for about 4 to 5 months, the advertisement needs to run 4 to 5 weeks. So 4 to 5 weeks the advertisement needs to run, and for that they need to pay the cost. So now this is the basic requirement and government fee which a business needs to meet to get a LMIA. Now LMIA, why it becomes important? So LMIA gets you what? LMIA gets you work permit. Work permit can eventually help you get the PR. The PR, if you remain on PR, then you can become a citizen. So this is the flow. That's why LMIA and work permit is important. Now you will ask, and I got this question many times, okay, I come on LMIA, I will get work permit. What about my family? What about my kids? What about my wife? Right? These are the common questions. So when you come on LMIA, what you get? You get a closed work permit based on LMIA, which means you have to work with that employer, which is a closed work permit. But your wife or spouse, if they want to work, they will get open work permit. They can work with any employer if they want to work. If they do not want to work, do not plan to work, they can also get study permit. They can also get visitor visa. If they don't want to study, don't want to work, they can still stay with you and get a visitor visa. So what about the kids? The children, the dependent children will get, depending upon the age, If they are less than 5 years, then they don't need to study, right? They are not studying, they are at home with you. So, or going to a play school. So for that, you need visitor visa. For children above the kids above the age of 5, they need study permit. They can go to the regular schools here. And if they are major, then they can also get their own open work permit. They can also work. So this is what you get for your family based on the LMIA and the work permit which you get. So this is the information. Now coming to the benefits. So benefit, not just the benefit employer has it, employee also gets the benefit. So what are the benefits? Let's quickly look at those benefits. An employer, on the employer side, employer is able to fill the labor shortage. Employer is able to run the business because now that he got an employee, he can help to get the business back in running. The employee will be loyal because he will be sticking around. It is a long-term commitment, so it will be a loyal employee and staying with the business for a longer time, right? So that is the benefit for the employer. Employee, on the employee side, because it is a ticket, it is an entry to the Canada, right? So you will get a pathway also to get a PR. You will get a job. You will be job ready. You don't have to come here and find the job. LMIA gives you the job also, right? And it gives you a stable employment because it is a long-term commitment. So these are the benefits of LMIA. Now I will also go through quickly through the types of LMIA. So broadly, before I say that, I have an important thing to tell you, which is looking at all this, LMIA is basically your golden ticket to come to Canada. So golden ticket to come to Canada. So I also want to tell you briefly about the types of LMIAs. So LMIA can be briefly divided into 3 types. One which is for the permanent residents. So if you are applying in the express entry, if you get a LMIA, you can get your score higher. Your CRS score jumps. So that is also LMIA for permanent residents. I will cover sometime in detail about this. There is a dual intent LMIA also. Then there is LMIA for temporary work. There is LMIA also for global talent stream. So these are the LMIAs. Now LMIA for the temporary work can be under 4 categories. It can be for high wage, it can be for low wage, it can be for seasonal agricultural work program, and it can be for agricultural workers. So these are the 4 categories under the temporary work. So now that you know the types of LMIA, I am also going to highlight to you, I have highlighted the benefits, the advantages of all LMIAs and everything, but there are certain, like pros, there are some cons also. So people don't want to talk about it, but I want that you also get to know about those cons. So LMIA, first thing and most important, LMIA is expensive. Second, location of LMIA is usually remote. It's not right in the center of the city. Usually they are on the outskirts of the city. So that's another thing. LMIA and work permit. Actually, you do not need any kind of IELTS or ECA, right? So you will say, then why is it con? Okay, it's a benefit to you, but later on you require both IELTS as well as ECA. So sometimes people come, they start doing the job, but they do not meet the IELTS requirement. They do not able to get the ECA. So that is why it is important that it is not required. As for LMIA, for work permit, IELTS and ECA is not required. But later on, when you need to qualify for any kind of program for getting the PR, it could be PNP program or CEC program, Canadian Experience Class under Express Entry, then you need to have IELTS and ECA. You have to, another important point is this one. You have to continue with the employer. Sometimes you don't like the employer, still you have to continue with that employer. So Why you have to continue? Because employer documents are required to get the PR. So you have to be in good terms with him. And another important thing, some LMIAs you cannot call your family. For example, NOC, right? If you have got a NOC LMIA, for example, truck drivers, you will not be able to call your family. So that is also another challenge. So this is about LMIA cons, and LMIAs are not same. All LMIAs are not same. Basically, LMIA is kind of, you have education and experience on one side, and on the other side you have job requirement. You have to do a match between your education, your work experience and the job requirement. If that matching is done, that is best, right? So try to find LMIA in your related field. For example, if you are a plumber, you try to find plumber LMIA. If you are an electrician, try to find electrician LMIA. If you are a retail supervisor, retail LMIA, right? Try to find LMIA in the field which you have knowledge, experience and education. LMIA, try to find 2 years which provides you with a 2-year work permit. Try to find that. Preferably try to find NOC B LMIA. And lastly, very important, try to find LMIA from a province where you can easily get PR. This is a very important point, and I'm finishing with this information. If you need any other information related to any kind of Canadian visa or immigration program, you can get an appointment, talk to our office. Our office is located in Brampton. Address, email ID, phone numbers, everything is shared here with you. And once again, very important thing, if you have not subscribed to the channel so far, please consider subscribing, and thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks.